Hello, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know whenever a new episode is uploaded. So we're going to have a conversation. I am behind the wheel, and there's all of this news that's out right now about Trey Songz and the allegations that are out surrounding him and what he has been accused of doing to someone that is extremely horrible. I mean, it's definitely graphic details, but pretty much he has been accused of sodomy. Okay? And if you do not know what sodomy is, then that is, look it up. I'm not going to go into the definition of it, but it's something that nobody deserves to have happen to them. There are some people who are open to doing that, but when you have someone that does it without permission, then that is extremely horrible because, one, it's a painful situation, and I can only imagine because I've never been there and I don't ever plan on being there. Okay. So I wanted to just have a conversation about this because we get it. Yes, celebrities can be targets, and a lot of times they are because of their status and definitely because of the money that people think that they have or they actually do have. So yeah, they become pretty much more so targets. Now, I'm probably going to have another either conversation or podversation about this just a little bit more in detail, because as I'm driving, I don't have the facts in front of me to read, or the allegations, all of the allegations that are in front of me that I can read, because I don't want to read and drive. But I get it. The people who want to be supportive of the celebrity, you want to be, if you're a fan of this person, on their side. I get that. Or even if you are not and you're just a fan of justice and you believe in innocent until proven guilty, I definitely understand that. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. That's what the law says. But we often know that doesn't happen a lot. But what about wrong until proven right? Can both parties involved, the plaintiff and the defendant, whether it's civil or criminal, in this situation it is civil because he is being sued for, I believe, over $20 million, and there may be more to come. We'll see as the news continues to unfold. Can both parties in some way, shape, or form be looked at as, you know what, I don't know all of the details, I don't know if he is innocent, but I also don't know if she's lying? Because it oftentimes is, if people are on the side of, we'll just use for example, because this is who we're talking about right now, Trey Songz, then they will often go on the attack of the other person. And I get it. We know that we live in a world where people do lie. People do lie. Yes, it happens. But more times than not, I believe in situations such as these, I don't believe that what does this person have to really gain besides money? Yeah, for lying on this person. It is because people say, well, if this happened, when it happened, why did they wait all these years to come out? Unless you have been a victim in a situation like that, especially one that is sexual nature, it is not often the easiest thing to do to immediately come out and say, this person assaulted me. And definitely when someone has fame, fans, a celebrity status, privilege, and money, which often does come with power, it makes that person feel even more like a victim and even more inferior. Now, some of the details of the case, without me having it in front of me, from what I can remember, is that this person, this young woman, she claimed that she consented to doing something of sexual nature with him, but not that. And they were going up to the room, and he was pretty much saying, look, I want to get that. And she was saying, no, that's not going to happen. I don't know what manner she said it. And I actually heard someone who was talking about this that asked the question and they said, well, how did she respond? Did she say it like she was serious, or did she say it like she was laughing? Does that even matter? If she said no, does it matter if you say no with a laugh or you say no sternly or whatever? I don't really know if that really matters. Or maybe it's possible she said he did say that to her, but she thought he was kidding, and she was like, no, I ain't going there. Like, that's not happening. Ha ha ha. But then when they got in the room, that's exactly what he went for. See, this is a situation when it comes to a lot of these assault situations sexually. No means no in every manner of the word. And there are a little bit of complicated intricacies sometimes when you get into the situation where you may consent to some things, but you don't consent to other things that this person is talking about, because there are other things sexually that someone may not consent to. They may consent to the V, but not the A, which is in the back, or the oral, the mouth. They may not, you know what I'm saying? So if someone consents to the V part, but not the A part, or the M part, the mouth, the oral, does that make them less of a victim? Because some people will, and some people are saying this, well, she was willing to go to the room with him. Not everybody consents to everything. Just because she consented to one thing doesn't mean that she consented to everything. And there's just been too much out there about this guy where it makes it hard for a lot of people who want to be rational to think that he is not the perpetrator of what this person has alleged. And in all honesty, I get it. They do feel that some people are more victimized than others when it comes to being called out for stuff. So some people feel that African American men are more on the chopping block when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, here's another thing. If that is indeed true, and we could say that based on some statistics, it could be that. It could be that. But also it could be because African American men are a minority anyway. So the more of them that do it, it definitely does make you on a list of higher numbers if you're doing stuff like this. And also, if you are portrayed to be like that, if you are portrayed to be the types that are more aggressive and sexually and aggressive in that manner and nature, and because of the type of music that they do, look, you make yourself more of a target, period. So why not make your actions the opposite? If you feel that, okay, you have to sell sex like Trey Songz does with his music. I'm not into his stuff. I'm not into his music. I never have been. That's just me, not my cup of tea. But if that is, you feel like an actor, you may be an actor who plays parts where you are abusive, or you are, you're playing the part of being a murderer or whatever. That's just an acting part that you're playing, right? So if you are going to do music where that is just, it's an act, pretty much, you're trying to say, well, this is just music, it's not my real life. But then we know that there are stories out there about you living your life like you do in your music. Then it just makes you wonder, are you really this way? And for the most part, it does. It just makes a lot of people see you as a person who is insatiable, like that song Prince had back in the day. You're someone who is just thirsty for it all the time, nonstop. and you're out here living that life. You're not in a committed relationship with anyone. Why not just try to be in a relationship committed with one person or whatever? And then some people say, well, why does he have to force himself on somebody? He's got money. He doesn't have to do that. Well, the thing about that is, when it comes to assault, it's not so much about the act of getting the gratification of sexual pleasure. It's about having that power over someone. So if you feel that you have somebody who you can make do something that they don't really want to do, then you are overexerting your power over this person. It's not even about the sexual gratification, and that's a sickness. Now, I'm not saying just because he has a sickness, he doesn't deserve to be penalized criminally or even civilly if you can't get him criminally, but it's something that needs to be reckoned with. And because he has a reputation, I don't believe all of these people out here are lying. I don't believe that the girls who were on that podcast back in the day, that was a few years ago, I think it was called No Jumper Podcast, and they were saying some things about him. Why would they have to lie about all of those things? And some people say, well, they're clout chasers. They're pretty much prostitutes because of how they live their lives. Is it okay to assault a prostitute? I may not agree with the lifestyle. I don't agree with people doing that and living their lives that way. But some people feel that that's the only way that they can live. And if you feel that that's the only way that you can make money and live, then that is what it is. But they also do not deserve to be assaulted either. So with this young woman, if she consented to one thing with him and he asked for something else, and she said no, she declined that, but still was willing to risk being in a bedroom with this person and thinking that he wasn't going to try to go there, does she not deserve to be, I don't like to use the word compensated, but does she not deserve to get some sort of justice? And the fact of the matter is, in the society justice system that we have the criminal justice system and we have the civil justice system. Civil is money. Civil is monetary damages. Whether it's just the losses that someone has experienced or it's punitive in nature, meaning punishment, it is about punishing the person. And I don't know any other way, if you can't get the person criminally, to go after them, is to go after them civilly. And there are so many people out here that have been victimized by people who have absolutely nothing that you can go after. Absolutely nothing that you can go after. So if they can't get them criminally, a lot of times they just get absolutely no justice at all. A lot of scars, physical scars, and definitely the mental and emotional scars. And a lot of them can't even afford therapy. So for the people who are quick to jump to Trey Songz' defense to say that, well, why is this person coming out now? Why not just keep it quiet until the justice system has spoken? And if she wins in the justice system, or if he decides, you know what, I just want to settle this out of court, which it probably will happen. Rarely do these situations go to court because it is cheaper to keep it out of the court than it is to just settle out of court, have the person sign a non-disclosure agreement and move on. We know that's happened a lot of times with a lot of these celebrities, but it's just to attack the person that has these allegations out here. I just don't think it's cool. If you want to say that Trey Songz is innocent until proven guilty, then you should also just feel that this victim is right until proven wrong. And I don't think that there's any reason anyone should say that if she consented to going up into the room with him, then she had whatever coming to her. I've heard some people comment that, and that is absolutely crazy. It is despicable. And consenting to one act doesn't mean that you consent to everything that person wants to do in the bedroom, because unfortunately there are some people who feel that once they have you in this position where you're vulnerable, that gives them the right to go for other things that you may not feel comfortable with. And that's a violation. That's a huge violation. It's sodomy. It's not right. And this has been accused of him. This is not the first time. So people can feel like, oh, well, they're piling up on him. Who is Trey Songz really? I mean, I don't believe he's not an A-list celebrity. He's not that famous. He's not a crossover artist. He's just, what reason do they have to try to take him down? For anyone that tries to say that, well, they're just trying to take another black man down. Trey Songz is really, yeah, he definitely may have more money than I do, whatever, but really he's nobody. He is somebody that has proven to be aggressive in other situations, and in this situation, I don't really have any reason to doubt what this person is saying, and I don't believe that they're just doing it for the money. Some people may feel that, well, she should have taken it to the police, and yeah, maybe she should have, but she didn't. And honestly, just because somebody doesn't do that doesn't mean that they have to. There's nowhere in the law that says that someone has to take something to the criminal side before they can take it to the civil side. I can tell you, in not a similar situation, but I can remember years ago, I paid a contractor to do some work around my home, and the person did some of the work, but they didn't complete everything, and the money had already been paid for a lot of the things to be purchased so that they could do the job. And I kept getting the runaround, and finally I just was fed up. I wanted to not sue him in civil court. I wanted to take his ass to jail. I wanted to press charges. They would not allow me to press charges because they said, well, but technically he already started some of the work. He just didn't finish it. So this isn't a criminal matter at this point, even though I could prove that he stole the money, because at that point he didn't do the job. So I felt like that was theft. They said I had to take it to civil court. So there's just sometimes where the law is just effed up. It really is. So yeah, there's nowhere in the law where it says in a situation like that, they have to pursue criminal charges. They don't have to. And sometimes with the law, the only real justice somebody may be able to get in a situation like this is to pursue their pockets and take them down. Look at Prince Andrew. There was no way this man was going to be locked up in jail or in prison in the United States. But this woman, Virginia Jeffrey, she was able to go after him civilly and compel him to come to court here in the States. And he didn't want to do that, so they settled out of court for an undisclosed figure. We know that's probably tons of money, but yeah, sometimes that's just the way the law shakes out. So I get it. For those that Trey Songz is your fave, you may feel that this is unjust. They're trying to take this black man down, or, you know, they consented. Those girls, they're willing to give it up. A lot of them, yeah, I know, I get it. A lot of these females don't know their worth. They don't understand that their body should be a temple. They shouldn't be allowing anybody to come in and out of it. But unfortunately, a lot of people just don't. They weren't raised in a way where they know who they really are. And as a female, you should not be living your life that way. So I don't condone being loose with your body and sleeping around with people either. I don't. But if he did violate that girl that way, then you have to do what you have to do. And this is the way that she's choosing to do it. So I don't feel that people should be attacking this person. If you feel that Trey Songz is innocent until proven guilty, then say that this person is right until proven wrong, or just leave it alone. What I'm pretty much saying is it should be neutral. You shouldn't just be on this person's side just because he's your fave, you like some of his music, or you think he's sexy or whatever. He's living a loose life. And if you feel that you're going to be a target, or or you've seen other people be targets, then why live your life that way? And I did talk about this on a previous conversation, probably well over a year ago, where I discussed Trey Songz a little bit, because there were these girls that came out and they were talking about some of the things that he did to them. And I just was wondering, like, why, if you know that women are going to be after you like this, or girls, or whatever. I honestly would say girls, not even women, but immature people who are not mature enough to know the difference between right and wrong when it comes to their body. Like, why live your life that way? And if you have to be that satisfied and you're that insatiable when it comes to your body parts, and you're just like a dog in heat, then pay escorts to just get it off, to get your rocks off, if you can't be in a committed relationship with one person. But unfortunately, some people, they just have to learn the hard way. And sometimes the hard way is just losing a lot of cash. So anyway, I just wanted to have a quick conversation about that. I may talk about this a little bit more, but anyway, you all let me know your thoughts about this. And until the next time, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as always, I'm just being beautifully honest.